my name's Hannah, and today I'm going to be talking to you about the procurement operations of General Electric. On the agenda, we have the introduction to General Electric, their locations and facilities, process assessing option B that we picked, our top 3 recommendations, and then the Kanban, lean manufacturing, ISO 9000, and Six Sigma methods. So to introduce GE, we manufacture a lot of different products. We are in the healthcare, household, and electric industry. And today I'm going to be talking to you about the appliance aspect and their dishwashers that they make. So GE has many locations all over the US, which is where they are based out of, and then we have some like behind the scenes facilities in other countries that deal with that aspect. Our main headquarters is in Boston, Massachusetts. The dishwasher manufacturing location is in Louisville, Kentucky, and then our global behind the scenes areas are located in places like China, India, and Mexico. And then we will be expanding operations to Europe to be better equipped for the surge that's coming up. So for process assessing, we have a method that we go by, and it's take what you've done in the past and leverage your current situation to improve upon processes. So during the surge, that's something that we can definitely implement with some of the situations that we may be dealing with. So during the surge, one of those ways that we can prepare better is to implement excess parts from maybe other manufacturing facilities, like let's say microwaves or ovens, and find ways to use those excess parts and make them multifunctional for dishwashers, washers, dryers, etc. And then we do plan to expand to Europe with different ways of transportation, including air, water, and then during the surge, whenever we do expand, air would be preferred to Europe because it's much quicker, and that's going to be our main goal, is getting products out a lot faster to customers, because water would take too long, even though it is a little cheaper. And then the short-term and long-term effects of the surge. For short-term, we have overtime, which would be necessary to get our employees adjusted to new systems, and allow extra learning time for those that are willing. So if we have like new employees that we have to hire in, and we have former employees or current employees working overtime, it'd be really beneficial to help those newer employees get adjusted. And then one of our long-term effects is the European move. It's going to be much harder to get equipped to, but with the right manpower, like sending employees over that are from the US to Europe to train in the newer facilities, would be very beneficial to expand our operations globally, which is our main goal, is to go global. And then once we begin, like I said, sending those employees over, it'll be very beneficial for the surge. And then for this project, we picked option B, which would be sell more, earn more from more customers, which is our main goal, is to sell as many products as we can, but paying close attention to what we're doing. And one way we can do that is within our 2 new lines that we've created recently within the dishwasher manufacturing facility in Louisville, which does create some risk for employees not being adjusted fully during the surge, which would make it a little bit more of a challenge to implement those lines, but it's definitely an option. And then new employees or moving existing ones, like I said before, transitioning some of those employees to Europe, and then maybe moving them even to different areas of the facility to help in training for newer employees, and maybe seeing how much hiring would cost. So there are some risks, like I said, that come with that, which would be like the new lines, and those that automatically come with surges and shortages, which isn't really in our plan, but something that we always have to be prepared for. So the components of the dishwasher are made in-house, which can make it a challenge to meet demand in our own factories if, like, maybe we run out of products. Finding a way to hopefully find a supplier that would have the exact same products or something similar. And then employee changes, like I said before, and calculating the cost of hiring would be some of our challenges for option B. To implement the Kanban method during the surge, we would want employees to be working as a team to accomplish tasks on a larger scale, and then eliminate waste. So things like having employees work together would eliminate like our bottlenecks and their slower processes and make things go along a little bit faster. And then by doing this, we can see what we need to be doing, what is being done, and then what is already accomplished. To implement lean manufacturing within our company during the surge, we have employee training, which is really important for those that are newer, or for the older employees that have been there a while, to keep them updated on what to expect, especially during the surge because it's a high stress time, which would require the use of critical thinking and solving issues or problems, mainly for customers, because if we're shipping them out so fast, then we could have customers calling in just as fast, struggling maybe with some of their parts or not understanding like how the dishwasher works or maybe why it isn't working. And then finding their needs through short surveys of areas of improvement would be a lot better than having them all call in at once. So sending out that survey maybe a few days after they've received their product, and just letting us know how it's going, what their issues are, maybe how we can help better. So that allows us to see our customers' values and minimize waste within the manufacturing process. And then for the ISO 9000 quality control standards, during the surge, we want leadership to definitely be taking its part, checking on our employees, and motivating them as much as possible so they are able to help our customers' needs and make sure that those are met. And then we have employee improvement. So during the surge, there could be employees that are lacking per se, falling behind because they just aren't capable of maybe keeping up with the fast environment. So seeing who's keeping up and then maybe moving them to a different position or allowing them extra assistance. And then to implement Six Sigma, during the surge, we want to keep a close eye on our data, like how many products are going in and out every day, what our turnaround time is, and avoiding the possibility of bottlenecks and extra product defects, because during the surge, people are moving so quickly within the company that they could be struggling maybe to get products down the line, and then they get in a rush and they're just shoving them out the door and not really focusing on the quality of the product they're making, rather the quantity, and that's not something that we really want. And then maybe some more specific problems involving employees and how overwhelmed that they could be. Motivating them, I think, and showing them the importance of their job and how much they really do matter within the company is really important. So, we don't lose them, because every single one of them has a role and a necessity within GE. And then slowed processes and production. Like I said, those bottlenecks, they can cause those, and making sure that we're doing everything we can to avoid those is really important. And then for our top 3 recommendations within the company during the surge, allowing the European facility to become more established globally is really important, because it allows more products to be going out globally, not just within the United States or shipping them overseas from the US. And we can have a better turnaround time if we include that facility and get it going quickly. And then the implementation of the 2 new lines that I briefly mentioned in the beginning, those can speed up our production process if we have, the proper employees going on those lines, and that maybe are more experienced and have been there a while, and then they can train new employees, and those two could be really beneficial to upping our production. And then the extra use of the Kanban method, like I said before, checking on our employees, making sure they're staying motivated, making sure that their mental health is okay, because if they aren't, then we aren't producing the best quality of products that we can within our company. I hope I was beneficial to you today, that I delivered some good information. If you have any questions, please get a hold of me. Let me know what I can do for you and how I can help. Thank you.